Right, our final game. It is me versus Jimmy. It is all marbles. This will go to overtime if there is not a result in normal time. And if there is not a result in overtime, it will go to kicks. Jimmy is playing Dark Elves with 12 players, 2 rerolls, 4 Bludgeoning Blitzers, and a block and a Wrestle Witch Elf. And I'm playing Necro with 2 guard Flesh Golems, 2 guard Wraiths, 2 block Werewolves, and a block Ghoul. 12 players and 3 rerolls. So we both have 12. I've got regen. He's got nothing. Everyone's massively famous. We'll dive right in. And Jim chooses to kick here, which I think is an interesting choice. Possibly because he did so well on his last defense, possibly. But chooses to kick. Possibly because it's got an overtime format and wants to try and create the stop, because then he knows what he needs in the second half and it's his choice. But either way around, I'm in the driving seat. And a reroll is one for Mr. Fantastic. So, ball is a little bit exposed, but we're okay-ish. Blitz here.
This is for all the marbles.
This is
it's
for all
hotter
the
than
marbles,
the 4th
yes.
of July out here, and these crews are putting on a tremendous display.
A kicks I can't win if it goes to overtime. Yeah. Blitz here, and then I can step back in here and try and make a line. And then these 3 players are going to try and defend this side of the cage. Annoyingly, we lose a reroll. So now, at the start of the game, I had 3 rerolls. He had 2. It's the end of the first turn. He's got 3, and I've got 2. Not the end of the world, though. That is a bit loose because I think that zombie should be there. Because even if I fail that, the fail is dead easy. You mark the zombie, you put 2 assists in, you blitz the Flesh Golem. If the zombie is here, the worst that happens is he runs and pushes a player around. But this is kind of okay. It's stronger now. I did worry that we would see some form of 3-3-2 concern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I realised that he couldn't quite get me. I've not been strong enough with protecting my zombos so far this set, and so it continues. The Zombarino's getting pummeled and punished. Thank you for the raid, Jim. I will see you in a couple of days. Have you had your flight details yet? Because I've still not had mine, by the way. So with the elves forming just a massive column, I want to try and find some hits, but I haven't been given anything. Because it took you so long to fill in the form. Yeah, well, you know. Choices. I don't think this was such a strong move by me. I went very heavily like, I'm going to go near the sideline. Warning, warning, dickhead alert. I don't like this. Ugh. And I hated this. This really hurts. So this is mega amounts of, this is inviting mega amounts of pressure, because the Flesh Golem's going to fall over, and actually I've lost 4 players this turn. Because all of that is not doing anything for me. So now we're playing 7 versus 11. What I think we could do, if we look at this from Jim's perspective here, is because he's got 7 versus 11, and it's actually, sorry, it's not 7, it's 7 versus 11, but he's committed 2 to get this. I'm 2 players light. I'm also a player light holding the ball. So this could be the turn where the pressure is also applied on the front of the cage. So we can go and put a blodge piece and a normal piece here, right? Stick double pieces in here. And you can also probably invite pressure by putting another blodge piece in here and stepping this guy off one. I know it sounds like a weird thing to do, but the triple pressure, or you just leave this. I'm never blitzing and surfing something. I haven't got the spare capacity to do it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. What else have you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, which could go in there? Which could go in there? And that's just horrendous. Blodge thing can go and stand there.
Brand new banger.
Blitz here, and then go and stick 2 pieces on here.
Kevin
Stick this in as well. And then this guy can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a rush, and I'm there. And I think that could possibly have put me in so much shoal that I don't think I'd have solved it. So I would go absolutely everyone all in, which is a completely different defense. Let's see what, I can't remember what actually happens, but that's where I'm looking at now. Double tag the Wraith at the front. One, two, three. Yeah, double tag on the Wraith. And if there's some, so the 2 minor changes I'd make: double tag on the Wraith, double tag on that Wolf, and there's tears rolling down my cheeks at that point. I think this is really complicated to solve, but I've got a little bit of wiggle room because I know I've actually got that zombie, because I can block here, this zombie can come off, we can blitz here, and then with a 1D I can clear and I can stabilize. I'm not going to get anything done over here, I don't think, unless I blitz here and then get the... This is unpleasant. There's a lot for me to solve, but it might be possible. Yeah, the 3 players is just a little bit stronger, and I think that probably is critical tears for Davo. The double tag here is probably the strongest single change, because it stops me throwing this, and then I've got to dodge off, which also means that the flesh golems of no help to me. So the whole cage then has to go backwards. Yep. I do remember looking at this zombie and thinking, I wonder if you can do something. But nope, no zombie. I don't like the idea of you pressing into the Wolf. A double tag on this here and blitzing the Wolf would be my viewpoint. Yeah, there's the double tag this time. The other thing I think I'm going to try and look at my side of the things as well, but the blodger was here, right? So he went 1, 2, 3. I don't dislike some form of like just tag on here. This is quite strong, and I remember trying to get the Wraith through. But if it goes here, and you can give up the sideline as well, I think this guy could come over here and be annoying, because it's my 4 now. I'm not looking to try and charge forward. I haven't got the 3 pieces, nor have I got it's the wrong turn. Thank flip, that was a pow. That gives me a bit more of a stabilization, and it unlocks. I can put 2 guard pieces through this gap now. Very consciously chose to turn down the surf on this guy. I think I chose to consciously turn the surf down. Yes, because we blitzed through here. So I had a choice of trying to chase this guy or trying to reposition, and I chose this. The opening blitz here, I don't think Jim was going to dodge into here and cause all sorts of problems, but this is where now, this is annoying. Now I am concerned about coming through, and I would probably go back into a more column-y type defense. At the moment, the gap here. Now, we could have probably chain pushed this blitzer all the way down here and tried to surf it, but I decided that that was a silly thing to do. And then I really looked at whether or not I wanted to follow through here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and surf that. But couldn't find an appropriate solution to stop my ghoul getting sacked from behind. So I chickened out, just didn't do it, and ended up standing here. This is flimsy as fuck. I was not very happy with this. I think a better solution here would have been to blitz, not with this guy, but blitz with the wolf on this on this. One, it then gives me a wraith back who can come and be over here. So if I go back a little bit, right, and we'll play that action out. If the wolf at the back that hasn't moved now does a blitz on the line elf at the back of the screen, if it breaks armor, amazing, right? So don't do that. Just don't do it. Just no. And then go 1, 2, 3, 4. As long as we get a knockdown of some description, the guard wraith is now over here, and that's way more strong than having a wolf, which is what we actually ended up having. Because the flesh golem is in a lot of trouble. And don't need the same level of protection around the back. It is way easier on a replay, you're quite right. It is absolutely a load easier on a replay. So now you're on 2 rerolls. You decided to receive, so we know that you're playing for the win. I think I would take a more aggressive line of play than the one you took. The line of play that I think I would take is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stand a line elf in that square there. And then go blitz 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push, push. And yes, it's 2 dice uphill, but I can't afford any of the stuff. Thought it could have been a 1D here too. Yeah. And I would have gone with that. You stand up the thing to cancel the wolf. It's 2 dice. Sorry, it's 1 dice into... 1 dice actually, sorry. And I'm fucked if that works. And it's not even that unlikely, right? So yeah, 1 into 1. 1 into 1, and it's a 4+ dodge. Yeah. Yeah, with wrestle, yeah. It's a 1 into... It's a 4-2-2 is what it is, with 2 rerolls. And a skill reroll. I think we both just missed it. And that is also why I think that the blitz with if the guard wraith was on this corner, that's not that. It's 2 uphill. And then this turn lets me run through. And there's enough wiggle room here for me to get through, which makes this score now definitely possible. You were going to do it. Oh, you did. Oh no. This close to going out. At this point, I'm very concerned about this problem, which is could this be used in some form of unpleasant chain push? So what we'll do is we'll stop it being an unpleasant chain push by putting a -1 on it. Page goes down. I just need to stand here for a turn and just fight it. Whatever happens, fight this. And I don't like how close that is. Should have probably dived. I don't know. I think you could put you didn't finish your turn off, so it's easy to look at this turn and say, well, maybe, but this turn was not a non-finished turn because of a snake. This is very concerning for me because if you get the ball, I'm hosed. And I was thinking about pause for a second. I was thinking about this turn through the lens of a tournament I was playing earlier this year. I was playing in the NAF Championships. It was for the final. It was in the final, and it was if I roll a 1 and 81, I won't win. Or I can throw a 2 dice block with block, but the position is way worse. It won't be a 1 and 81. It'll be fine. Ah, but if I don't, I'm fucked. And this like constant consideration was going through my head because the better line of play is the ball just ends up going there by blocking here, and then I can blitz here, right? But what happens if it goes all horribly wrong? Or I could blitz here. But how do I get this wolf out? I want this hit. I really want this hit, and I just didn't like it. So I ended up making peace with myself, and I know take the block here, and then blitzing here, which is a 1 in 81 with block. Luckily, we find the Kapow. And there's basically going to be guard on all corners, but not quite. There won't be guard here. So the zombie should be standing there. That is laziness. It should go there, because if it goes there, then dodging in on this square is a 6, not a 5. And or you've got to come all the way round to get in here, and then the scatter is going that way. So I think the zombie is in the wrong place there. The zombie should be there. And this is where it all goes. I have, over the 3 games, I found a few things that I didn't like. What did you roll to get in? A 5. So, if I'd have put this dude here, that was a 6. You don't get in. But no. Zomborino goes down. If you make this 4+, I'm folked. Scoring threat first? No scoring threat first. Ooh. Well, I suppose you could argue that if you don't make... No, I make... Scoring threat. Scoring threat goes in. I mean, it's bad if you pick it up. I get that. It's worse if you hand it off. I'm really not sure if I made the right choice here. So, get a removal. The ghoul can, in theory, walk in at this point, but I've counted the wolf out. It's 3-2-2. So at this point, it's just 3-2-2. We blam a witch elf, and now it's 3-3-2-2, sorry. There isn't a scoring threat, but you never know what nastiness might end up happening. Two without a reroll, 66%. Makes it. Boom, 1-0. Probably a little fortuitous, and definitely there were a couple of things that we could have done differently. And overall, could have got myself into a big pile of trouble. But never mind. Anti-1 turn that correctly identifies that zombies need to be 3 back from the edge. Well done me. Oops. Ugh, sorry. Tabbing out on the wrong screen and it's pushing this thing sideways. We got a blitz here and we got a block here. Currently not anyone down, so unless we lose 2 people, we're probably okay. And then... Boom! Badly hurt. Don't worry, regen is fake skill. So, Witch Elf dead, but Blodge Blitzer stays out. So 2 of the 6 blodging things are out. However, I'm down 1 of my 4 guards. So, stop the score, win the game, or play for overtime. This, I think I at the time didn't value enough, because by the fact that these 2 are on the field, it meant that there's only 10 players, and 2, 4, 1 of the blodges is probably holding the ball, so there's only 3 blodgers running around, which means that if we look at the pitch here, it's 3-6 as the ratio for blodge versus non-blodge for Jim to play around with. He does find another reroll. That's the second one. But now that there's a lot of non-blodge, this is a lot easier to pick at. So I will. Yeah, I actually didn't place enough emphasis on it or consideration for it when it was happening, but one, as I know how this plays out, and two, how I know how I ended up sort of looking at this now. I can put a lot of pressure on here, even with just one flesh golem. And that is exactly what we're trying to do. Put pressure on the line elves, force one of those rerolls that was for freebies to be got rid of. Have I done enough? Maybe. The ball is quite deep. I don't remember if, Jim, you had enough movement to bring it any further forward, but I think a further forward ball here would make me uncomfortable. This is all right, because it's only come to here rather than going to, like, I know you probably wouldn't be able to get there, but if you could have got there, then the logical extension is you might have been able to get round in front of me. Because you don't, this is a lot easier for me to deal with. I still have to stall till turn 7. Yeah, yes, that's true. But the Daka for me is broken the moment that you get a couple of pieces through. So I will constantly be trying to readjust and stop the movement of pieces. Just pause for a second. That move there, if that player goes and stands behind, he's free. If he stands anywhere in front of these two elves, I'm going to tag all three of these elves and they're not going to get to move. So we've got tag, 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 blitz at the moment. So I'll be pressurising all 6 of the non-blodge again. When they're blodge, it doesn't matter. Or we want to try and keep, you want to try and keep a chevron. This guy could actually have gone here to have then given you the option to go back round again if needed. Only a minor thing. But I think I'm going to try and kill this guy and then we just wedge in everything. And again, chase and force he protects the blitzer. This one, no, I'm not going to try and hit this guy. My strategy in the first 3 or 4 turns here is I don't massively mind if you score in turn 16, so long as I've chipped a few more players. So I'm going to go for the line elves because I can get 90% knockdown into 17% removal. So if we keep doing them, it's not even 1 in 5, it's nearly 1 in 5 removals. This was terrible. This was really poor. This was, oh, don't worry, I'm big and bad, I can bully you. Oh, we're going to pay for that, aren't we? These are the wrong way round. This is definitely the wrong way round. Completely missed the fact that was going to be 2D on the ghoul, and that could have been a swing moment. This guy wants to go there. Yeah, that guy goes there. Again, protecting an elf. Stop me, base it. Yeah. I think that guy could go there, and this guy goes here, and then I don't get to base a bunch more elves. Ouch. Whee! We get one. There's a downside of this position, which I'm going to struggle to protect the wolf, and I think there's a free wolf hit on this turn. So the ghoul is going to have to go in to just defend the wolf a bit. Oh, we're going to put this... Okay. Put that in. And this guy needs to be over here. So I've got speed. I've got a bit of speed on this side, and I've got a little bit of speed on this side. And then we can have the 2 dice there. The downside of taking these 2 hits is that we will then be pushing the players away, and there's no pressure. Jim on 9, me on 11. I'm going to start to feel a little uncomfortable. Only on 12. Yeah. The cheeky Kaz there, yeah. The narrowness of your side here is making the numbers advantage, I think, be slightly more the disparity slightly increase. The wider you go, the more I have to spread out, the more you might be able to find a gap. The narrower you go, the narrower I get to go, the more concentrated I am, and the harder it is to find a gap through. Because if this elf, for example, is over here, this zombie has to go all the way over there. So that zombie is being pulled back for 3 squares. Now, I'm not sure I dealt with this turn very well, because the obvious place that's going to go is there. I'd much rather that just went north. However, you can always just be lucky, right? You want me to try and pull in the other side, okay? Distilled Davo, I understand. And then I'm going to go and stand over there, and then you're going to try and come this way. The Wraith needs to shut the door, otherwise you are just going to fucker off down here. And this is where we're going to start to see the swap. And with a power, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you push me here, 6, 7. With a rush, you can go to there. I know you're 2 rerolls. You could be here, and you could push another one through. That stun must be really painful, because otherwise you probably do come into this sort of area here. That becomes a cage corner. And that doesn't become a dodge on a 3, it becomes a dodge on a 2, because the Zombo goes there. This turn, I looked at this turn for so long. So long I looked at this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. I was like, oh, I could do this. And I think there was a turn in the previous round. I forget, was it the Undead in round of 32? I was like, oh, we can hit the ball. And I committed too much stuff in, went in against the ball, and it bit me hard. He ended up scoring from it. So I was determined to measure my response rather than overcommit as my response. Equally, even though there's cash on the line, I can't not. Right? So there's this taut duality going on inside of me. There's a surf. There's 400 quid. There's a surf. So I end up doing this. Minor inconvenience. Dodge using. So I was like, right, fine. If we roll a POW, don't care. If we roll a push, that's okay too. And so long as we count out how far away these blitzers can get to, back here somewhere, and that's cash in the bank for the next couple of turns if this goes to overtime. So the wolf coming backwards down here, knowing that this needs to happen. So I was quite content to just give the space, and the zombies are going to then drop back. So that I will just drop this turn, taking the advantage that we've got by pushing that off the field. Get in the way, Flesh Golem just goes and stands in the hole. And we're currently against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elves. This is looking pretty strong. This being a push, I thought was quite important, because if that was a POW, this unlocks this elf to go and stand in that square there, and means that this is not a consideration for you to have to worry about. But the fact that it's a push stops both of those things. And then forces this line of play instead. So now we're on to turn 15. And I know that he has to put some scoring threats in. So we'll pause again and we'll look at this. There has to be some scoring threats. And I was so torn. Right, push this guy back and try and stand in the way here. blitz this guy down and try and stand in these squares here. Blitz the back of the Witch Elf and push in here and then stand like in a sort of semicircle here. I had all these different choices. We could have put the Flesh Golem in that square there potentially. That would be mega annoying. So there was all these different options on the table and I was a bit torn in terms of what to do. I think looking at it now, I think I like the Flesh Golem being in that square there, the Wraith being in that square there with a triple stack on here. The double stack's actually a bit weak because if the Wraith gets blocked over, this gets blitzed and we're into tears and tantrums mode. So I think I probably should move everything in and then the Wraith, the Flesh Golem can go and stand in there because it puts tackle zones immediately onto the ball and makes this square a problem, which we can also stick a Wraith in there as well. So I think there was a very strong line of play where we deal with a Witch Elf. Spoiler, we don't do that. Should be, I think this guy should be further here to be just in the way. This guy could just be in the way. And by not rolling a POW, I think I end up standing here. This being a triple stack's probably the best place to go. But then I was terrified of this getting POW'd over and there being like some annoying 3 or 4 plus through. But in the end, we have actually left a 1D here, which, yes, it did need to be a 5 plus, but if it was, I'd have looked a real idiot. Finds the POW. We have to sign up into that square there. No follow, so you can dodge on a 3, not a 4, then we can leap, we can come through, and then these guys can be doing something similar. This was important that there was a go for it here, otherwise it was getting surfed. So, that wasn't good. No, that was one of my weaker turns. That was definitely one of the weaker turns I had. And I was also convinced that we were going to make sure that the ball carrier was stood in that square there, if it was still standing. However, it wasn't. Now, I've played against enough very good players to know that just occasionally you think you've won and then some fucker finds a chain push. Out of absolutely nowhere, there's a chain push. So I didn't stop at this point. I carried on. I mean, there was unlikely to be a chain push, but the last time I played Crucifer, I didn't think there was one, and the bloody was. So, wasn't prepared to give, to just go, oh, we've done, well done, and press end turn. It had to be, make sure it's done. Now I feel happy. Oh dear. So there we go. That makes it the final 8. I sneak through, and on balance, I certainly didn't see the surf of the ball. I could have been surfed in the first half. I wasn't. So it could have gone the other way quite easily. Congratulations to Jim, good opponent, and we will play out the last 8, which we can now go to the final phase. No, not that one. Rankings, there we go. And I can get rid of spoiler number 1, and we can reveal the final 8. So the final 8 are, from the top, we've got Wentros playing Dark Elves, Strider playing Wood Elves, we've got Spartacus playing Lizard Men, Andre playing Imperial Ability, Diomed playing Necromantic with the 13-man 1 Wolf build, we've got Sergal playing Orcs with All Block, then we've got me playing Necro, as we've just seen here, and we've got Olivier Gilak playing Wood Elves. So 2 Wood Elves have managed to make it through, 2 Necro have made it through, and then 1 of everything else. What an absolute cracking set of matches. If you're watching this either on YouTube or on Twitch, you will be able to see this live on the Nacon channel from, I think, 4 PM UTC, UK time. It'll be about 4 o'clock in the evening, French time. And we think the opening game will be me versus Olivier Gilak. Please come and say hello. Please come and join us. And if you want to know where to go and watch it, you can either join the official Blood Bowl Discord channel or find mine. The links will be posted when we go live via my channel. I would also imagine that Jimmy will do it, and it'll just be all over Twitch. So please come and say hello. Phew.